We've got more details behind Darius Garland's toe injury. The postseason injury, turf toe rumored to be what it was, something really, really bad that's going to require surgery. But we've got more details for you here on Cavs Digest. Hey everybody, Billy BB back with you, talking Cavaliers basketball. We've done a lot of trade stuff, some recent news with the Cavs, coaching changes, coaches leaving, coaches coming in. I mean, so much has happened with the Cavaliers. And the NBA Finals aren't even over yet, which shame on the Finals for being unnecessarily on a Sunday night at 8 p.m. I think that's a major L for the league. But we are sticking with the Cavaliers today. I wanted to bring you guys something new, something different from the trade rumors and the news that has hit recently with coaches. This is Darius Garland's toe injury. And yes, we've talked a ton about this over the past 2 months, but I have a clip from an orthopedic doctor talking about Garland's injury, breaking it down, recovery, the extensiveness of it, the science of it. Even I could follow. I'm not a big science guy, and I kept up with it. So I thought I would bring this to Cavs Digest. It's from Ortho United in Canton, Ohio, if you're interested. It's Dr. Barnett breaking it down, and we'll get to that clip in just a second. I also want to kind of gauge the temperature on how Cavs fans feel about Darius Garland and that injury and what happened, because I know that was quite the situation. So before we jump into all of it, be sure to subscribe. This is a great example of we're going to bring you unique news, different news, things that are happening in real time, things Matt and I noticed that we want to discuss with you guys. And again, it helps us gauge what you were thinking during the Cavs playoff series against the Pacers. Right, so Darius Garland, well, I guess he strained his toe at the end of the regular season, which is interesting to me because the Cavs had him keep playing. It was Donovan Mitchell that rested at the end of the season. He took the final 5 games off. Garland missed, I think, that final game, but he played a good chunk to finish the end of the season there, and then we find out he's hurt. He's injured, right? Which is really, really interesting because right away he gets hurt again to start the playoffs. He played 2 games against Miami. We saw him fall into the bench, and next thing you know, he's really just not available versus the Pacers. We then go through a nasty process as a fan base, media, local and national. Should Garland be playing? How bad's the injury? Why is he not out there? Do the Cavs need him? The Cavs need him now. I mean, it was really, really gruesome to watch. I was of the idea that he needed to play. I thought he should have played, and I just thought it was because of the situation they were in. I'm sure you can go back and find it on this channel when we were breaking it down, but they needed him. He had to play. They needed him to play. So, yes, I was of the get him in there, get him out there, get him playing. I was not in the camp of what's wrong with this guy? He's soft. Why won't he play for the Cavs? The Cavs really need him. I think there was a split there with Cavs fans. I really do. And it got nasty. It was tough to watch. So, first thing right away before we jump into the doctor clip, let me know what you were kind of saying out loud or to yourself about the Garland injury. Did you think he should be out there? Did you think he needed to help the Cavs? Or was it once they were down 0-2, then it was, okay, what are you doing, Garland? I know for a lot of people that was the moment. So let's jump into the clip and we'll break it down from there.
The Darius Garland thing, I tried to look up and I couldn't find much specifics on it, but it sounded like he had a turf toe injury, which is when you bend that big toe too far backwards and you're usually applying weight to it, and your heel's kind of up in the air and you're flexing really hard into that thing, and you bend it so far back that the ligament that's connecting to the toe bone actually tears off. And it's bad for several reasons. You think, okay, well, it's just another ligament injury, but it's bad because that area of the toe is highly complex. So your run-of-the-mill general orthopod doesn't really want to touch that because they don't see a whole lot, and it's a very complex area. That's why he ended up getting sent, I think, to Tennessee to get done, because they have some of these guys that treat the athletes around the country almost exclusively. So yeah, he got sent down there. But the turf toe injury, there's 2 little bones that you actually walk on that you don't realize on the bottom of your toe. Called the sesamoid bones, and those 2 are intimately associated with tendons that are down there, So you have bones and you have two tendons running through them, kind of like your kneecap. That bone's kind of inside a tendon, same kind of thing. And then you have a tendon running between them. So you've got 3 tendons, 2 bones. Then you've got a really strong ligament called the plantar plate, which is connecting the bottom of that joint together. And what usually happens is that plantar plate will tear off the toe part of it. It won't tear off the metatarsal side of it, but it'll tear off the toe side of it. And yeah, you going in there, it can be pretty messy. I remember taking care of a lot of the athletes down in Dayton. The running backs especially would get in compromising positions and they'd bend down, and you get in there and you've got to do a lot of dissection to get in there, and there's a lot of little nerves and everything, and so it's way more complex than you would give it credit for.
Yeah, and I think people will say, "Oh, he just hurt his toe. Why can't he play?"
Yeah,
come on.
No, there's a lot of stuff down there, and they're tough injuries because you think about all the weight that goes through that, and yeah, I mean you got to push off every step you take, and so. With his recovery, he's going to have to balance healing everything together because they're going to have everything sutured back. They're going to put anchors in his bone. They're going to grab the ligament. They're going to tie it down to the bone, and they're going to want that ligament to heal to the bone. Well, you got to balance that with, we can't let him get too stiff, so you got to do some gentle range of motion stuff, and so it's a balance between getting him going and not injuring him, as he's recovering, and it's a delicate balance. So. He's got a road ahead.
All right, so a lot of great stuff from Dr. Barnett in Ortho United, orthopedic doctor in Canton, Ohio. And again, he talked all about this is a very special injury and an injury you need to get taken care of right away. It's a 4 to 5 month recovery for Darius Garland. So, it looks like he'll miss time to start the season next year. Just really, really difficult for the Cavaliers. And again, some more insight into it, the science of it, recovery, how important it is for an athlete for their big toe to be right. And I know it's sort of a goofy thing, right? We joked about it. Oh, my toe hurts. It's a big deal. These guys need their toe. It goes along with the whole foot. And it seems like it's going to be a really tough recovery for Darius Garland. So I'm wishing him well. I want to see him get back. I want to see him get better. I want to see him have a fully healthy season. That's really, unfortunately, two in a row now where his season ends, where he's just not right. He's just not healthy. We'll get to that conversation another time. But again, you can drop down in the comments. Where were you at on Darius Garland after watching that clip? Did it change your mind at all? Are you worried about him missing 6 months, 7 months from what Dr. Barnett said? Do you trust the Cavs to take care of him here? Be transparent. Give him a lot of time off. How do you feel about that? And we'll keep you up to date. A lot of great stuff like this. Making sure you're getting all the stories you need for free, everything interesting, everything entertaining here on Cavs Digest.